Alright, let's get this underway. So part 4 of the Jedi Consular story, we are hoping to close it out, at least for Coruscant anyways. We're going to be listening to this Veritasium video at the same time. Alright.
Here they're covering gaming with an anti.
Oh, wait, some Papaget stuff.
In the winter of 1954,
Once it's kind of this whole Chinese thing, or
air
the
raid sirens are sounded
Veritasium thing.
all over the city. People scramble for cover as artillery shells are being fired in the distance. The People's Republic of China is
Republic of my
bombarding
ass.
the nearby Kinmen Islands in an attempt to take over control from the anti-communist Chinese. But troops on the islands fire back. Soon, artillery shells are raining down on both sides. Back in Xiamen, inside one of these shelters is 21-year-old Chen Jingran. As others are fidgeting, impatiently waiting for the explosions to stop, Chen is reading pages from a math book. Because he's on a mission to solve one of the oldest problems in math.
A child can understand
this dude cannot even let
the greatest geniuses in mathematical history have
can't
not
let
been
a
able to
war
solve it.
In the year
get in the way
2000,
of
a
his
publishing
math.
house even
Oh, look at
offered a
this.
$1 million prize to
This
anyone
looks
who
fucking
could solve
awesome.
the
Holy
problem.
shit, I gotta get
But
a
for
die
nearly
for this
300
character.
years, everyone who has tried has failed. So the problem is this. Can every even number greater than 2 be written as the sum of 2 primes?
So that's the problem. So we can do some examples.
1
We
plus
can
2.
say, for example, 6. You know, that's an even integer. So can we write it as the sum of 2
Oh, even
primes? So those
integers.
are numbers that only divide by themselves and by 1. So for 6, it's just 3 plus 3. And we can do more and more numbers. So 10, for example, would be 5 plus 5. But
30.
also 7 plus 3. There's one I want to do, one extra, which is your favorite number.
42.
42. What makes it up?
37 and 5.
37, yeah. But there's also a sort of nicer, more methodical way of writing this out, and it will help us build some intuition.
Alright.
We'll start by drawing 2 diagonal lines.
I'm building like a pyramid of prime numbers.
Alright.
So we're going to start at the top.
Oh
and then
no,
write
we're
down
back to
2,
doing primes again.
Then we'll write down 3, 5, and this is going to be a good test of how well I know my primes.
Then we'll do the same on the other side.
Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line from each prime. Can you see where this is going?
And where they cross is every
Where are
sum.
we going? Oh yeah, they're
Yeah.
just car territory.
Now I can start adding them. So we get 2 plus 2,
4.
4, 3 plus 3,
6.
6. You can see we're starting to get all these numbers. The main point here is just, as you go down, not only do you see all the even numbers appear,
I'm curious
they also
actually.
seem to appear more frequently.
Does adjusting the volume here do
It seems
anything?
like it should always happen. And of course, the conjecture is that it does always happen.
Chen's obsession with the conjecture goes back to his high school
No.
sciences and said, mathematics is the queen of the sciences. Number theory is the queen's crown. And the Goldbach conjecture is the pearl on the crown.
Jewel in the crown.
Shortly after, the teacher said, well, perhaps one day, one of you kids
Oh,
will
shoot.
solve it. And then the whole class burst out laughing. Everyone, except for Chen Jingran. He later said, I did not laugh. I did not dare to laugh. I was worried my classmates would know my vision. But I never forgot this lesson, to always remember the pearl on the crown, and to never forget my aspirations or ideals.
And now, as air raid alarms are ringing, he's maintained his vision. He's working on his math, trying to solve Goldbach's conjecture.
And then it's like, well, who the hell is Goldbach? Do you know Goldbach?
I know nothing about Goldbach.
Christian Goldbach is a little-known Prussian mathematician who grew up in the early 1700s. At first, he mostly studied medicine and law, only occasionally dabbling in mathematics.
That's
But
crazy,
then,
chat.
in 1710, at the age of 20, he set off on a 14-year and over 4,000-kilometer-long journey to meet some of the greatest mathematicians alive. In Leipzig,
Wait.
he met with Gottfried Leibniz, the co
Oh, Leibniz. Isn't Leibniz the parallel founder of calculus? Hold on a second, though. I believe... Should I be able to buy the higher level speeder piloting? I think I need it. Is it something that you buy or is it something that you unlock? Ah, cool lightsaber. What do I search on here? Oh, here we go. Speeder piloting 4. Do I have this? That's what I need. Speeder piloting 5. Let's unlock everything up to speeder piloting 5. I have to buy everyone that goes along with it, or everyone before that. And that's lame. That speeder piloting 1. Well, hold on. Do I need to buy speeder piloting 5? The pilot ranks 4 through 5 are purchased through Legacy System, specifically within the character perk section and not available from trainers. While the first 3 ranks are typically earned through class trainer, you will need to acquire ranks 4 and 5 through your Legacy. What does that mean? These are purchased at Legacy unlocks within the character perk section of the Legacy window. Okay, hold on a second. Where's my Legacy window? Oh, probably under global unlocks. Out of here. Out of here. Out. Where is it at? I have no... This one's available on your ship, right? Be kind of nice to have this, repair droid on your ship. Kind of offload your items you don't need. Legacy cargo hold. Would be nice to have that too. Guild bank might be cool. GTN would be cool. I don't see speeder piloting here. Oh, lame. You have to unlock the ability to mount something while moving. That's lame. Oh, where's speeder pilot? I don't see it here. That's still a thing. You don't buy it from trainers, you buy it from Legacy tab, character perks. This is incorrect. Oddly, speeder piloting 1 is still on the trainers, the only thing they can do. 1 through 3, yes, right? Only the upgrades 4 must be bought through. You can also buy speeder piloting 1 there, even early in the class trainers, but also cost more. That doesn't seem to be what I want. I need answers that are of this year. kind of hot. Okay, I don't really
inventor
know.
of calculus. And in London, he met with
Don't.
both Nicolaus Bernoulli
Let me
and
alone.
perhaps the greatest mathematician of all time, Sir Isaac Newton. He then finished his trip around Europe before ultimately settling down in Russia at the newly formed St. Petersburg Academy of Sciences, where in 1727 he met his most important connection, a 20-year-old math prodigy.
Can you guess who?
Leonard Euler?
Leonard Euler.
Euler.
The two quickly became friends, bonding over a shared obsession with number theory. Then, in 1729, Goldbach moved to Moscow, but the two stayed in touch, writing letters to each other for the next 35 years, literally until Goldbach died. It was in one of these letters, on the 7th of June, 1742, where Goldbach scribbled a line in the margin. It was not the exact form of the conjecture which now bears his name, but something related. It seems that every integer greater than 2 can be
Oh,
written
wait,
as
character
the sum
perks?
of
There
3
we go.
primes. Euler was intrigued by the proposition, but he thought the idea could be refined further. It made sense to him that odd numbers might need 3 numbers to add together to make them. But then he turned his attention to even numbers, and he thought, well, with even numbers, perhaps just 2 prime numbers would be enough to sum to give you every even number. In fact, as Euler wrote in his letter, this is how Goldbach originally framed the problem in person. So Euler reformulated Goldbach's idea into 2 separate conjectures. The first dealt with odd numbers and said, every odd number greater than 5 can be written as the sum of 3 primes. This became known as the weak Goldbach conjecture. And the second dealt with even numbers. It said, every even number greater than 2.
I'm curious, is a conjecture in mathematics, is it something that's considered true? That is believed to be true based on observations, but for which a rigorous proof has not yet been found. I see. So something like there being an infinite number of primes, right? Actually, I'm kind of curious. Is there an infinite number of primes? Oh, we know this. This has been proven by math, including Euclid, using various methods such proof by contradiction. Okay, interesting. So, suppose there is a finite list of prime numbers, p1 through pn. Create a new number m by multiplying all the prime numbers in the list together and adding 1. The number m is either prime or composite. If m is prime, then there is a prime number not on our original list, contradicting our assumption. If m is composite, it must be divisible by some prime number. Well, it's divisible by all prime numbers now. Because you said you're adding all prime numbers in it. Oh, but this is a suppose there's a finite list of prime numbers. I see. Hold on a second. So first we're assuming that there's a list of prime numbers. We're trying to contradict that this is the case. By assuming you're multiplying all primes together, if m is either prime, if m is prime, then there is a prime number not on our list. Yes, it's true. Which would mean that that's the contradiction. If m is composite, it must be divisible by a prime number, by some prime number. It must be divisible by all prime numbers, right? Because of the first assumption. However, if m is divided by any of the primes in our original list, it will always leave a remainder of 1. Ah, I see. This means that any prime divisor of m must be a prime number not on our original list. Again, contradicting. This means that any prime divisor of m must be a prime number not on our original list. So if m is composite, any prime divisor of m must be a prime, again, I see. So either way, you're contradicting that assumption. I wonder. Euclid proof. Is that true? I thought infinite primes was still a question in mathematics. I guess I was wrong this entire time. How can there be an infinite? For all practical purposes, the amount of infinite because you'll never actually convert the entire universe. Okay. Primes are not infinite. Rather, the set of all primes is infinite. There's one infinite prime. Okay. I don't know. I feel like that's now going beyond
Can be
me.
written as the sum of 2 primes. This became known as the strong-Goldbach conjecture. They get their names strong and weak
Whoa.
conjecture because if you have the strong conjecture, then you've shown that every even number greater than 2 can be written as the sum of just 2 primes. And then you can add 3 to each of those sums to get all of the odd numbers. So if you can prove the strong conjecture, you get the weak one for free. But the reverse is not true. If you can prove the weak conjecture, you still don't get the strong one. Now, after Euler reformulated these conjectures, he was so confident they were true that he wrote, "I regard this as a completely certain theorem, although I cannot prove it."
And he couldn't, you know. And for the next 150 years, almost no progress is made.
That is, until in 1900, German mathematician David Hilbert addressed the International Congress of Mathematicians in Paris. And there, he listed 23 of the most important problems for the 20th century. Number 8 on that list was all about prime numbers, including Goldbach's conjecture.
Goldbach's conjecture was back on the radar. Only now, mathematicians started to look at the problem differently.
Let's take a look at our pyramid again. One thing to notice is that this pyramid is symmetrical. When 2 primes add to make an even number on the right side, those same 2 primes make an even number on the left side. So to avoid double counting, we can look only at the right side of this center line. And what we find is that for very small even numbers like 4, 6, or 8, well, there's only one way to write them as the sum of 2 primes. But for larger numbers like 20, well, now there are multiple different ways to write it as the sum of 2 primes. And the further down you go, the more combinations you find.
So mathematicians started asking a new question, not just whether every even number can be written as the sum of 2 primes, but in how many different ways it can be done.
Let's call that number h of n. For example, h of 4 is 1, because you can only write 4 as the sum of primes 2 plus 2. H of 20 is 2, because that is 3 plus 17 and 7 plus 13. H of 42 is 4.
I can't do this right now. I can't follow a number theory while I'm trying to play a video game at the same time. This looks pretty like math dense, which looks interesting, but I have to save it for another time. I like Veritasim's videos though. Let me just Put that out there.
lens.
And the show is not meant to be
Make sure
political
that
at all.
I feel like being
you're aware
anti-woke is like
of
the
the
pinnacle
Jedi
of
Council's
political, right?
story.
Love your
We
model,
are
by the
hoping
way.
to close it
Really.
out,
Oh,
next week
great.
for
That's really weird.
They're still pushing Pride stuff. Ubisoft still hasn't shown any post about Men's Health Awareness Month.
If they actually cared, they would be celebrating these things instead of trying to use those things to dismiss other advocacy.
Let me do something with this real fast. Hold on. I do crop head around this. I don't really need it. -5. See how that looks. Man, you know, I kind of want to watch. I kind of want to play a Shin Megami game just because I miss the music. Keep thinking that one song that I'm a shapeshifter. That song. Play a Shin Megami game just because I miss the music. Keep thinking that one song that I'm a shapeshifter. That song. From Shin Megami Tensei 4, I think it is.
Here they're covering gaming.
Let's see how that looks. Okay, we got my logo in there. Fits in there, right? Nice. Modifying my stream a little bit. Fits in there, right? Nice. Gotta make sure it all looks nice and spiffy. Fits in there, right? Nice. Gotta make sure it all looks nice and spiffy. I'm in picture-in-picture mode right now. Okay, getting back to it. Oh! Slow loud though on my end. Looks like I gained a lot of new techniques though. I'm gonna want to equip these. Give me a quick question. Quick second. I grab me something to drink. I'll be right back. Play some of this video. I do chair streaming.
With an anti-woke lens.
And the show is not meant to be political at all.
I feel like being anti-woke
How can you?
is
Yeah.
like the pinnacle of political, right?
Love your model, by the way. Really.
Oh, great. That's really weird.
They're still pushing
That's the
Pride
thing,
stuff.
right?
Ubisoft
Like,
still
people
hasn't
have
shown
opinions
any
sometimes
post
of,
about Men's Health Awareness
when I
Month.
say
If they
or do
actually cared, they
something,
would be
it's not
celebrating
political,
these
but
things
when other
instead
people
of
do,
trying to use those things to dismiss
then it's
other
political.
advocacy groups.
Why are you gonna play before?
A fresh 18-year-old
What the fuck?
Who the f watches this?
Welcome
What
to
am I
the
hearing?
Real Game Awards. I'm Stuttering Craig.
He doesn't really stutter very much. I feel like that should have been people's biggest red flag, is that he's lying about a disability. The Real Game Awards best PlayStation IP. I'm sorry. How do you not vote for God of War?
Don't think critically. Just get that low-level endorphin buzz as you melt into your gamer chair whilst you take breaks between over Korean computer graphics.
What is that even in reference to? We'll find out in the next episode of Liquid Sonic Z. Alright guys, I'm curious about this video. It's a little different. It's just called Anti-Woke Abomination, Stuttering Craig and Side Controllers. A lot of words, but it's from Liquid Sonic. I've seen a couple of their videos. They're pretty good, I think, overall. There might have been one video that was a little cringe, but like, listen. If there's one video from this guy that's cringe, there's 1,000 videos from Papa God that are cringe, am I right? So let's get this party started!
also known as
Okay, start over.
Craig Skitsmus, also known as Stuttering
Skitsmus.
Craig, and now just going by Craig of the Side Scrollers podcast, used to be known as
Keep
one
it
of
simple.
the OGs of online gaming content creation, being a
That's crazy. I just remember Angry Video Game Nerd. I was like so terminally offline,
Who's
man.
Angry
I was so
Video Game
terminally
Nerd? That
offline
sounds
back
familiar.
then that I thought Scarlet Takes a Tumble was my girlfriend at the time's friend.
You know what I used to remember
I didn't
back
even
in
know
the
what
day?
YouTube was.
It's
And now look at me, guys.
Ego Raptor.
I'm a
and
YouTube man.
JonTron.
Woo!
And then JonTron
co-founder of
became
website
racist. And like,
Attack in
it's lame now.
2006.
I remember that.
Those were better times when he wasn't
Um,
racist.
What was? Oh, was it Newgrounds? I'm thinking of
Could actually enjoy
Newgrounds,
shit.
where like they had Mario Party, like the Mario invasion of the castle. I don't know if you guys remember that.
And through this, being a pioneer of the medium, there are very few creators that have lasted as long as Craig has in his industry. And with
All
being
right.
around for so long, Craig has
for
had
Craig.
to adapt with the times. And throughout his career, he has had a mix of failures and successes in his endeavors.
So
His most
true,
recent
just saying.
project is a reboot of the Side Scrollers podcast. And now he covers gaming news.
Should I do a gaming podcast with P? We'll call it gaming with a gay autism, gaming autism, and we'll get a gay guy to do it too. So it'll be P and me.
In me.
through an anti-woke lens. And it's safe to say it's a pretty decent success. But
I catch a stray in this video? Oh my god, that's crazy. That's not good.
I see this anti-woke stance that Craig takes
Jesus.
as it
Oh fuck, dude. Oh, I gotta wait. Now I have to see the stray out right away. I don't know. I take a stray in here, but I can't. I looked up Papa Gut in the transcript. It's not in there, so you know we'll see.
insincere. And unfortunately, I think it
I'm
lacks
so
in
upset
any
now if it's
value and
true.
doesn't add anything to the conversation around wokeness in games. So it's quite funny.
Well, I feel like we're at a time now where there's just a lot of game. Like you just not play the game if you think it's woke. Like I haven't like been. I used to be a
Honestly,
gamer when I
yeah.
was young, and then I kind of
People
fell
are,
out
like,
of it
crying
once I had
about
to work,
nothing.
like, a lot. And I've been getting back into it recently, especially while I do commentary. And I've been playing some like such amazing games, and it's because I don't play a lot of them. But
That reminds me,
we played, you know, both the newer God of
I want to buy one of those little emulator Game Boy things that they sell on Amazon. You know, like the ones that have all the old school games on them. I had a dream last night I was playing Galaga, of all things. But man, I love Galaga. As far as like simple little games go, they're like kind of retro and you can jump into it really easily. I feel like Galaga is always a solid choice. But yeah, I mean, I was thinking about getting like a little Game Boy thing so I can carry it with me like on my train rides. Kind of takes me back to the Game Boy days. When you're traveling, you just kind of throw that thing in your pocket and you can just like casually play through video games.
Wars, which are great.
I mean, I
love
guess
God
you
of
do the
War,
same
so
thing
it's
with your
easy
phone, but
to get into.
kind
Then
of
we
like
played
having
both the Jedi
like
Souls
the idea of
games.
having
Those
like a
were
little
pretty good.
Game Boy.
Then we're playing Ghost
But
of
what I want to
Tsushima. This
see
game's
is
crazy, dude. This game.
and if any of you know, I mean, leave a comment. Do they make one that will play GameCube games? Because I want to play like Zoid's Battle Legends. Maybe even that old school like Pokemon arena game with the dude with the silver hair and the Umbreon and the Espeon. Seemed like a weird sequel to the Pokemon Stadium games that I never really played before, but I heard it was good. I heard the story was interesting, so I'm kind of curious.
This game is so good, you know. So I don't know. I feel like if there's some kind of weird gay game, like game, or let me just say, like a game with a bunch of like representation you don't like, just don't play it. That's what I do. You know what I mean? Just don't give a shit.
Need to look back now and see that Craig's first endeavor into content creation was the
Oh, he shows a picture of me. It's probably not the one that makes me look like a weird pedophile, right?
Side Scrollers podcast. But this being back in 2006 took a very different form to what it is now. He initially wanted a online radio show.
Oh shit. All right, hold on. I found it.
And moving on. You know, what's the point in learning about things? What's the point in finding things out? Don't think critically.
That's
Just get
beautiful.
that low-level endorphin buzz as you
Beautiful.
melt into your gamer chair, whilst you take breaks
Just to be clear, this is a lazy boy chair. It's a very expensive chair. It's not a gaming chair. It's an office chair.
between masturbating over Korean computer graphics. But
Excuse me, I'm racist, so I don't do that. What is that even in reference to? I don't know. We'll find out in the next episode of Liquid Sonic Z. Exciting stuff, guys. All
Wait,
right,
didn't
let's
we
get
listen
to
to
there.
the story?
Let's get there.
About
though.
gaming, but he quickly found out what podcasting was and co-founded the Screw Attack website with his friend Handsome Tom to host said podcast. And I haven't listened to a lot of this stuff for making this video, but it seems like solid content, especially for its time. I mean, this was way before my time, but Joe Rogan started podcasting in 2009.
I saw Joe Rogan apparently started doing it because he saw Tom Green doing it. Isn't that crazy? I feel like I got to get my shit together with my editor August and get her on track, and then maybe start my own podcast. Especially since I know this is going to be crazy, but I feel like with the MatPat thing, with the working with the government, or they're trying to create a YouTuber lobbying group that like reaction content like mine. You know, maybe it might be something of the past at some point. Which, listen, we're gonna ride the wave as much as we can. But if they get rid of it, I'll be disappointed. I'll disagree with it. But you know, it is what it is. So I should probably get my my footing.
What is this?
Something else.
Trans target with a force shield that absorbs. Damn, last episode, target becomes force imbalanced and cannot benefit from force armor again.
Which could be interesting.
15 seconds. Is that what this is? Forced armor? I see. The game is so loud, right? Or really, it's more the ambient noise. Yeah, what the hell? Why is the ambient noise up so loud? Turn this down a little bit. There. Maybe that's better.
And you know, people always say, "Oh, he's an innovator. He's one of the first."
I think that I know I'm going on a tangent. I think it would be really cool if they did some kind of healthcare initiative, not necessarily like something. Maybe you can have like a bunch of creators. If you earn a certain amount of money, you can opt into it, and then you could have bigger creators opt into paying a higher amount of their salary to help subsidize other people's healthcare. I think that it could be a cool idea.
First guys, I don't actually know myself if that is the case, but it's an example. 3 years after Craig started doing his show,
almost like we'd just be better off with having universal healthcare in general, so you can free up people to like shift around in the job market without having to worry about it.
Basic short-form reviews, often being less than a minute long, covering retro games. If you watch something like that, Intelligence Cube for PS.
Damn, there's so many like retro games.
Can I use this ability on myself?
How long until like PlayStation 3 becomes retro games?
One video is pretty much just a brief overview of the game.
The goal of this game is to get a sweet
use that
IQ
pretty
by
often,
getting
actually.
more points. We try to capture the gray blocks while.
So let's move this here. Hey! Okay, hold on. Cat's annoying the hell out of me. Hold on. Okay. Gotta get her off my desk. Okay, let's see. How are we arranging this? My character is gonna be like, I haven't really done a whole lot of the healing role, so I don't really know how to play it very well. But that's what I'm going for with this character. So I'm not really sure how I should set up my button like layout for that. I feel like there's like a knocking noise, but I think that's from the game, right? Keeps throwing me off. These seem like they have the same like cooldown. So this is 2 seconds, 1.5. Okay, this one uses more force, so it actually switches around. But then this one creates like a little bubble shield. It seems like you can use this fairly often too. How long does it stay up? Last up to 30 seconds. Oh, it absorbs a certain amount of damage, I see. Like eventually I'll have to rearrange these to kind of get used to. Let's do this. Put our heals over here. Put our heals on wheels. There we go.
By letting the black ones fall off.
Whoa.
The ambient noise in this game is so
and as time
much louder
passed, they
than
upgraded their
I would think it would
content.
be.
They started doing top 10s.
Number 10.
And they also started collaborating with other creators.
This is some pretty big boobs.
Most notably, they scouted the angry video game nerd and got him to start releasing his videos on the SWTOR website. And things went so well for them that GameTrailers.com stepped in and struck a deal to host their content.
This was all before they had any meaningful advertiser revenue on YouTube, right?
This was a far more official and corporate-style website than SWTOR, but the SWTOR team and the angry video game nerds seemingly had free reign to produce whatever content they wanted. So they were a pretty good fit. Game traders could keep their corporate image and they could host SWTOR and AVGN to do more relatable gaming content. And I look back on this age as a time of genuine and honest content creation. There wasn't a great deal of money to be made, and people didn't expect this to become a business. So people would just make stuff that they personally found interesting,
Like I'm watching
and they would
one
do whatever
person
they
watch
like.
another person
Like
watch
you
video.
weren't going to find other gaming media outlets doing Soulja Boy diss tracks.
Soulja Boy.
Wow, this is incredibly beautiful.
Or working with people to make their own Clerk-style web series.
3 game chicks he would not have sex with. Ooh. Melina from Mortal Kombat.
Jesus Christ, dude, what the fuck is this? This is cringe as fuck. Is this like early internet shit?
Why? Isn't she hot as hell? I know she has some like, weird ass teeth, but hey, fuck it, you know.
Any of the Draenei chicks from World of Warcraft?
He wouldn't? What?
3 game chicks he would not have sex with.
Why wouldn't you fuck a Draenei?
That was a Draenei.
Melina from Mortal Kombat. Any of the Draenei chicks from World of Warcraft? And Chun-Li. Really?
What the hell's a Draenei?
Oh yeah. You see, as amazingly hot as Chun-Li is, her massive, powerful thighs would crush any man like a vice.
Draenei from World of Warcraft.
Then I guess you're just a coward then, huh?
Yes, that is a young pro Jared doing a bit where he gets
Oh, I'm
balls
spelling it
crushed
wrong.
by
Draenei.
Chun-Li. And it's not only...
How would your balls get...
You know what, this dude looks familiar. Like I've seen him before on things. But I've never known who it was.
Crushed, though.
That kind of
Wouldn't
like
your penis
early
get crushed?
2000s,
Are you putting your
like
balls in
cringe
between their
fucking
thighs in, like,
college
this weird
dude
way?
humor is...
That's a little confusing.
I'm glad
the
that's out of
totally
style
not creepy
now.
guy that's never done
lame.
anything wrong pro Jared that started there.
I'm pretty sure from what I remember about Pro Jared, they actually didn't do anything really creepy, and they got like canceled unnecessarily. Am I misremembering details about that? I feel like it was like a huge nothing burger.
For example, Destin Legary started there before moving to IGN for 13 years, and the whole crew from Death Battle started their franchise under the SWTOR name. And after time, with Death Battle's meteoric rise and SWTOR's dwindling numbers, Craig made the inspired decision to split from Death Battle, retire SWTOR, and start Game Attack. And unfortunately, this project did not see the...
Well, it seems too close to Screw Attack, Game Attack. They should have like went with their own identity instead of like trying to almost mirror the other one.
The same success. In fact, here's Sean, who now does Hang Time, claiming that they made only $500 to $600 a month.
But our YouTube channel was making about, $500 or $600 a month on when we were at our highest. The most successful channel our YouTube ever was, we were making $600, maybe like $1,000 a month.
So again, Craig parted ways, and it was a while until we'd hear from him again.
How much is $1,000 a month back then, guys? Is that a lot? Is that a lot of money, guys?
I'd have a bit about Craig coming back and interviewing his old friends, and his weird show with his loser brother. But let's get into what's really interesting.
That's not nice.
The new.
I like how
Side Scrollers
casually
podcast.
British he says it too. Like
Here
his
they're
loser
covering
brother.
gaming with an anti-woke lens.
But I hope you understand the show is not political, and the show is not meant to
Okay.
be political at all. Which
I feel like being
I
anti-woke
love people
is,
that
like,
say
a
that.
pinnacle
My
of
politics is not
right? It's usually
political.
bitching
Your
about
politics is
gay
you being
and
too
black people
political.
in games.
Calm down.
Just say the game's not for you and move on, bro.
Again, not an anti-woke show.
Oh right, I guess it's not. What's going on over there then?
Ian came in with 10 gifted memberships. Let's go, Ian. Thank you very much.
Ian, you legend, you.
Why is my character so slow? What the fuck?
Do we have,
Should she not have her like
bouncing up and down for
Oh, hang
her
on, I
speed
gotta find
or
her.
sprint ability
Where is
on?
she? There she is.
There.
What the fuck? Okay. Why is this
Yeah, I have
exist?
sprint on.
She is. Good to see you, Kirsha. Thank you very much for your bouncing.
It's
right
just
there.
her
That's
speed in
awesome.
general is slow. I don't know.
Honestly, the jiggle physics on that thing are kind of disappointing. I'm gonna be real with you.
Oh, that's just some out of context clip. Yeah.
Well, I don't think this makes it political. It just makes it a goonerish.
Yeah, there's irony I'm not tuned into. I haven't been watching it enough. Oh, cool. It's well-known class act Arch Warhammer.
I have no idea who this guy is.
He's going to bring it back.
Give it up for Joey. Joey, thanks, dude.
Whoa,
For the
Joey, $50 from Joey, dude.
massive $50 super chat.
This has to be somewhat recent if this is actually in their video, because I remember reacting to this within like a year.
Says, hi, Side Scrollers. Just wanted to ask.
This is the show. Pay $50 to see Craig's stash of TikToks that he's stored there for his personal use.
I mean, like, it seems like the show is like basically softcore porn. So you pay money and then they give you like curated softcore porn. Hey, listen, you know, they know it's good stuff, man. You know, that's a healthy that's a healthy service.
He's a curator.
It kind of makes me think about, this is a question I have. It's like a philosophical question, guys. I want you guys to kind of like be with me here a little bit while I explore this. What is the philosophy around, blasting your shit to drawn stuff that was drawn by a dude?
I mean, to be fair, when you're fapping to porn, you're also fapping to a dude banging another person.
Like, what are we like? Is that okay? Is there
yes.
Some kind of an undertone of homosexuality there?
No. No. I get you think it's weird, but no.
I don't know.
No.
I just don't know.
This is truly disgraceful. Is this owning
okay,
the feminists?
It's not because I have.
Or is this a group gooning session?
And
I feel like
the group gooning session thing is kind of
even more when you learn how Craig markets this new show.
All right, let's
Hey everybody, I'm Craig.
Not
Welcome
there's anything
to
wrong with that.
Podcast channel. If you are a normal man who have found common sense, guess what? Hit that subscribe
oh,
button.
wow,
Join
common
the nearly
sense.
105,000
These
normal
look.
men.
I kind of like these on her. I usually wouldn't do something like
this
this.
time. And we're going.
This kind of
we're going
matches the
clean,
outfit,
We're
though.
going simple, just like normal men like. Let everybody know. Proclaim your normalcy now. The link is in the
This is so cringe.
description down below. It is available.
Normal men? What the fuck?
Just be a normal man.
Just be a normal man, and we're gonna get normal men on like Nick Recator and Short Fat Taku.
Didn't that guy have like a huge problem with like drugs or something?
He did. Wonder what happened to the whole thing. I think he got his kids taken away from him, maybe?
The San Francisco Board of Education Superintendent of Schools Maria Sue plans to unveil a new grading for equity.
You may have noticed the shrill banshee that's unable to control the volume of their voice. This is Craig's
I'm assuming it's his son or something.
new co-host, Blabs. And yes, strange pick to get a disabled
I know
woman to
about
host a
item
podcast with
modification.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm assuming she's not actually disabled.
I guess she's like the Gila Klein of the show.
Damn, bro. Does this guy not like H3, dude? What the fuck, dude? What the hell? Oh, shit.
Maybe one day Craig will set her free in
cat
the woods.
again.
And what's crazy is Blab's
Don't.
flailing takes up way more of the airtime
Don't
than
think
Craig
about it.
does. Craig is more of just a mouthpiece
She looks
for
so
all of the
freaking
wonderful
small.
guests that he gets on the show. You've got Arch,
I can't be
who's
right,
gonna
right? The
save
proportions are
West by
fucked up
talking
here.
about Warhammer.
How come this guy has a bunch of LGBTQ flag shit behind him? What the
Looks
hell?
so small compared to this
We've
vehicle.
got Twitch streamer Eric with his cowboy hat on over his headphones,
Alright.
clearly bold, probably closeted. You've got Yellow Flash. I wonder what this guy's content's like.
All these game journalists like that bald woman that's in that intergalactic game. They don't like good-looking women. They don't like fit women.
Bald woman in the intergalactic game? I guess this person? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't jack off to this.
What game
but
is it? I don't even know what
I mean,
game
I
it
don't
is.
have
Why
to
are you
jack off to
complaining about it?
everything. I feel like
Character
there's plenty of
looks
stuff
cool
to jack
though.
off to except for...
I gotta be honest with you. This whole Stellar Blade thing, that like I see people post and stuff. Like, I don't care that your game is advertising like a girl jiggling around all day. It doesn't appeal to me. I think it's fucking cringe. Like, you want to jerk off to porn, go jerk off to porn. It's like a overly elaborate waste of time. But also, insofar as like sexy characters go, like, who designed this? Because like it's just kind of not for some reason. It's like you took a character that's supposed to be this whole like looking like a weird, like, I don't know, 6-year-old face on top of a woman's body thing. I just don't find it interesting or attractive at all. I know people will keep posting it like, oh my god, look at how hot, like people don't want hot characters anymore. This is just, it just doesn't do anything for me. Like, wow. Congratulations. Wow. That's so amazing. I've never seen a hotter character in my life. Really? Boring. Who designed these outfits? Nothing about this looks like sexy or cool. It's just whatever. Like they tried too hard. Now you get the near characters, right? Those are hot. 2B? Get some 2B in there. And look at how much more simplified this design is. You actually have intricacy like in the dress and stuff like that, but there is a cohesiveness if you stare at it from afar. Right? It's communicating something from afar. This Stellar Blade thing is just way busy. And ironically, the busyness of the costume like takes away from the sexiness. There's just too much going on, right? And if you wanted to have like a character with like a elaborate outfit because you thought it was cool and everything, cool. But like they did this to try to make the character sexy, and all these design details are like taken away from that. Like this at least this is a little bit more like coherent, simplified. But like, oh wow, boobs. Okay, cool. Oh look at she got boobs. Okay. Yeah, I mean, none of these are like super like, oh my god, I have to have. It's just okay, cool. Like they failed by their own criteria. That's what I'm getting at. That was a very roundabout way of saying it, but like they failed at their own criteria to like make these action figures look more interesting. I don't know who this is. Is a character in there? She looks kind of hot. But otherwise, like it's what the fuck is this? Wow. Talk about flat, right? I want to play some Galaga. I had Galaga in my mind. Galaga. So like Galaga style games, right? Is Galaga the original one that like actually lets you upgrade your spaceship as you go along? Or is that something else? I know Raiden does that, right? Raiden. Yeah, anyways.
Her. Every female character needs to look genderless and borderline, or they're not happy.
No way. I'm looking
Who's
for
not
a creator
happy?
that
Like
still does Stellar
who's
Blade
saying all
coverage
this? No one
and
cares.
10-minute daily uploads about Grum's
No one cares that you
tweets.
want to jerk off to like an anime character, you know, when you're playing a video game. It's just honestly the rest of us just kind of look at it and we're just kind of like, you're not edgy, you're not cool, and no one cares. Keep it to yourself. We don't think it's that interesting. It's not because, oh, we're politically correct. We just actually think it's fucking boring and whatever. Just keep it to yourself. No one fucking cares.
Thank you, Yellow Flash. When gaming's fixed and the West is saved, we're gonna remember
Saved
your
why?
station.
Because you got boobs?
There's someone for everybody. You know?
Stupid,
Stellar
dude.
Blade coverage. You can sit there in your goon cave with your VR headset on, and you'll be getting gifted skins for your Korean slob game.
You gotta be careful those fucking
That's so
VR
true,
games,
though.
bro.
The
That
games
shit
are
gets
they
crazy.
are fucking I say as I play this sloppy ass game.
I'll say it again.
But there really is like nothing there.
I have a VR
Here's some
headset from
boobs.
Mongo. I didn't
Like
buy it
what
to
is
jack
Stellar
off to
Blade?
anything.
Like it's another
I
fucking
did
slash like
try that,
hack and
though, but
slash
it's like
game.
a lot of
Unless
work.
you're Devil
You gotta
May
put it
Cry
on.
and
I wear
your
glasses, so
combat
it
is
smudges
super
against your
fun and
face, it gets
engaging.
uncomfortable, the battery dies, there's
And
a
you're a
plethora
hack and
of
slash,
problems.
like
The
why am I
ankles get all
playing you
fucked
for? I
up.
don't really care. Like
It's just a thousand different issues.
It's such a mindless genre. At least at that point, make it like a Dynasty Warriors game. That way I can truly like not pay attention too much and just breeze through it. Mark's telling me it's a legit job. Kind of makes me think it's not. Oh my god. Since I moved here, where I live at now, the weather's been pretty perfect. But today has been warm, and we don't generally have like coolers here because we don't need them. But this is just one of those days where you wish you had one, you know? I'm gonna need to get like a little portable, like if I can get like a little mini water cooler, that'd be awesome. I'd like to make one. That'd be great. Get out of here. Out of here. Alright. What does he want? Let's see. I feel for the senator and his credits, but those commandos have the journal now. They're going to spare us twice. They aren't going to spare us twice.
Choose.
I wish I could like
right, but I
listen to and react to albums on here while I'm playing. I'd be able to kill two birds with one stone, three birds with one stone. Basically be doing video or music reactions on top of gaming reactions. On top of like expanding my music repertoire or whatever you want to call it. But I don't think I can get away with just streaming whole albums on here. Especially if I can't react every 5 seconds. What? Select initiate assembly sequence? What is all this? Okay, I take it this is not the Jedi Archive. Oh yeah, okay.
I tried it out, and I remember I downloaded the Steam game and I played it with my wife. You know, because like we weren't gonna jack off to it. We are just curious about it. And the whole premise of the game was just actually it was horrible. You would legitimately torture anime girls.
What the fuck?
Like
What
beat
game
them.
is
It was
that?
horrible. It was horrible. It was horrible. And my wife and I were just like, "What the fuck is this?" And then out of like morbid curiosity, I had to try to get through like the first level of it, and it was just it was gruesome, bro. And so like after that, like that kind of like unironically fucked me up. All jokes aside, I was like, "Damn, that was a little too much even for me." It was actually more than a little too much even for me. It was a lot of too much for me. Um, it was crazy, dude. I can't even describe the things that you would do to these. You would like electrocute these people. It was fucked up. It was terrible.
from every white male as a token of our appreciation for your hard work.
Alright.
It's
And
crazy,
with
chat.
guests such as these, Craig's
But
already reached
genuinely,
the top.
what the
Craig
fuck
is at the
is
peak
he
of
talking about?
content. So where's
Double
Like I know them,
standard.
I know they make weird
Rich
games like
fake
that
fan
on Steam
Hassan
and stuff,
Parker,
but
it makes us sick. Okay.
is he going to go from here? Well, Craig can always break new ground and learn about a new genre of content.
I'm just a normal man. I'm very excited to be on with you guys. This is incredible.
This does seem like a goon. Why can't people just be like fun gooners? Just be fun. Just be like, yeah, I'm a gooner. I like to jack off to games. I don't like games that I can't jack off to. I would respect that. But why you gotta be anti-woke?
Don't worry. For any VTuber haters out there, Craig's incredible.
it's so weird too because like the people are anti-woke and then they're into all this like weird gooner shit. Like what do they think? They think that like 50 years ago when we didn't have wokeism that this stuff wouldn't have been considered like highly degenerate. Like they're allowed to enjoy this kind of stuff because of how free our society is. You know what I mean? If you're in somewhere like I don't know, the 1920s Turkey or something, you probably get like your dick chopped off for this.
He's just learning
That's a baby. The hell's happening there?
About VTubing.
I've said this before. I am not super familiar with the VTubing space. I fully admit this, right? But I'm learning as we've had VTubers on our show. Like I said, this is something that I'm not.
Noise?
You know, I'm learning about this space as we go. A lot of people are really excited.
Why are you learning about that space? That's crazy.
Excited that you're on today, us included.
What do you like? What's worth listening to that space? You know what I mean?
Glad you're with us. Love your model, by the way. Really.
Thank you so much.
Whoa, Craig. That's really weird.
Can't believe I'm saying this, but I feel like playing a Fire Emblem game.
Well, you know, Craig, I'm starting to have my doubts. I don't
Might
really
have taken
buy that
Fire Emblem
normal
on
men want
my
to watch
train
a
ride, so
hog-handed hag roleplay as an anime girl.
A hog-handed hag. That's wild. Jesus Christ, dude.
Let's alone watch whatever the fuck this is.
Lolly gang rap for.
What the fuck? Okay, what's going on here? What is that noise outside? Oh, my phone. I don't know. Do I have a choice? No, you don't really have a choice. In case you're wondering, that's the next part of that soundtrack. Or that score for the movie. Okay, so there may be another way, but we're not going to tell you, but you have the knowledge to do it now? Okay. This guy looks like a jobber. No, off. 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 What the f- That was probably the worst voice acting I've heard in here. The animation looks so corny. Here, we'll practice healing now. Gonna focus on healing Kaizen.
Before I was a hag foxu, I was a fresh 18-year-old foxu.
What
Who the
is
fuck
she
watches
saying,
this?
dude?
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know.
Hello. Real England.
This is some brain rot stuff.
Oh my god. Need correction. You need correction, chat. You are the one who needs the correction.
Not even
Shadman is
saying
taking
anything.
commissions. It has always been a dream of mine to have artwork done by the Shad.
I've always heard about this like Shadman guy that he makes like weird lolicon stuff, but like
Man.
What the fuck? The fuck? The fuck? The fuck? Why would you? Why? Why would you say that? That's the guy that draws children. No, right? Like that's a fact, right? Pretty sure that's a fact. That's crazy, man. That's crazy to admit that. You know, it's like one thing to jerk off to Lolicon, which I think is inappropriate. But it's another thing to proudly announce it to the world that you want some fucking weird freak to
yeah, like have a little bit of shame.
You want to commission them to draw you.
At the
That's
very
crazy.
least.
There's too much confidence. You know, that's
Yeah.
insane. That's insane.
Wasn't he in prison for drugs? I mean, Shad is a very controversial figure, but
Yeah, no kidding.
I still want artwork from him.
Incredible.
Everybody, a show for normal men. This
Sure, there's plenty of people in the 1940s that felt the same way, you know.
is cool-based right-wing content for the new generation.
Also, yeah. I mean, what is up with that, by the way? Like, you have all these people who are into like lolicon and weird like gooner like quasi pedo stuff, and they're on the right. And the right is always like pontificating about how like the left is destroying culture and destroying morality and everything. And ostensibly they're supposed to be like, oh, we're protecting the kids from all these trans people. And meanwhile, they got all these lolicon people in their freaking community. Like, what the hell? Like, you clearly don't care about this stuff, right? And you got people like Andrew Tate bragging about like underage girls, doing things with them. Like, what the fuck?
Have you not heard
Doesn't
of
make any
Bug
sense.
Chasers?
I think the real issue, the real problem is like I don't think they actually have a moral like grounding or foundation anymore. I think they're just kind of like edgelords. I think the right now is just like yeah, we're gonna do bad things. We want to do all the bad things. You should have the freedom to do the bad things. And it's like, I mean, okay, you can, but should you? Is this something to be proud of? Is this something you want to like build your movement out of? Oh, I'm gonna say the N word because I can. I'm gonna, have lolicon because I can, right? Like, wow, congratulations, you're antisocial. Like, what do you want me to tell you?
I think I've heard of
Bug
it.
chasers.
You've never heard of people wanting their neg hole to be paused?
I say
What?
They're what?
What is a neg hole? Is that your butt?
Craig's non-committal, but
To be
this is the sort of thing
paused?
that Craig is
What
really
does that
into
mean?
now.
I
He is
don't know.
really big on
Don't
supporting
even know why I'm
Kirsch.
asking.
Who the fuck is Kirsch? Okay. Is he dating it then?
So Kirsch has had this smear campaign against her recently because she's a right-wing VTuber. And it's pathetic. I honestly hate the way that people are going after her sponsors for this. But
Oh, is there a video we could look at about that? Also, I get the idea that this person does not like Ethan Klein.
it's displayed something about Kirsch that I have a big distaste for, and I see this trick getting pulled off by many creators in this space. See, Kirsch makes explicitly right-wing content.
Yeah. This is
Oh god.
We got our
Fairly well. Thanks for the contribution. Thank you. I wasn't aware. Okay, bro. Wise beyond her years. Okay, buddy. Chill.
resident white supremacist Sam Hyde, who made a video complaining about how America has become is becoming less of a white country in response to Elon supporting H-1B visas. So that's fun. I did a reaction to that video. So,
but when it comes down to her commentary on this matter, she just says, "Oh, I'm just slightly right-leaning of center."
And I am a much, much easier target for these smear merchants because I lean slightly right of center.
All these people say they lean slightly.
I don't know what they're talking
They
about.
don't. They're like far to the right. Right? They're into all this like race realist stuff and like ethnocentrism.
Right of
so
center or whatever.
It's not right of center. You're far right at that point.
I'm just a little foxoo. I'm just a slightly right-leaning little
I'm
foxoo.
just a little baby.
That seems very targeted to me. And why? I'm an anime fox girl VTuber.
And I think if she really cared about what she talks about, she'd say something like, "I am a right-wing voice. More than half of the country that I live in have these sort of similar views that I have, and my voice is being silenced."
I'm just a cartoon fox woman.
To be fair, not everyone has to be.
Is that like the Asmongold defense, or the Nux? That's really the Nuxtaku defense. It's just like you have a dumbass fucking perspective, and then when you get called out on it, you just sit there and you're just like, "Oh no, I just revel in the chaos. Oh, I'm just this." Oh, you just downplay your position. Is that?
I'm just joking, but all your jokes go in one direction. Right?
They can just rake in money from.
I'm just asking questions, but all your questions are like leading to one thing.
Because people like Asmongold and Tectone are sticking up for her.
Yeah, again, the level of support is.
You won. Yes, good. Taurus and Narshada. Which one do you want to go to first? Taurus for sure, I think. Go somewhere primal and get back to my roots. Take the Trandoshan somewhere where they're
I definitely credit
they fit.
Asmongold for
Like,
showcasing on
he just
his
looks like
platform.
he'd be
I'm
in
very grateful
Narshada
to
now.
him.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
grateful to like Tectone who had made videos on it.
I'm sorry, Terrace.
And Craig, like the.
There's two there. Yeah, I guess somebody send me something about this guy or girl. I'm curious.
Businessman that he
I mean, that pretty much
is
wraps it up for
desperate to
Coruscant too
suckle
as
on the
well.
teat of
I
Asmon's
apologize
crabs.
today. I've been a
What do
little
you think
bit
we need to do to get
kind of more on the drowsy
an
side.
Asmongold
It's been a
Kirsha
bit of a long day,
crossover stream?
so.
Well, I'll tell you what. Maybe we can. I mean,
But at least we
I don't
got
know
Coruscant out of the
but,
way.
maybe we can facilitate.
I need to find some
something
like decent
that.
videos
Maybe
to
someone wants
react
clip
to.
this and present it to him on his show.
I don't want to create a TikTok
Show? Is he a
account,
Twitch streamer? Is that a show? It's
but
very old
my
to say
understanding a
something
lot of
is a
like
show.
His Reddit
the
or however
videos
he-
that people react to are from
Just
TikTok.
throwing it out there. Everybody wants to do a crossover.
I don't want to
with
start
Asmongold,
now.
but come on, you get the Kirsha and her husbando together, and I think that'd be.
Come on, Kirsch, please. I need to climb the ladder. I need to get rid of Eric. There's only so much attention I can drum up by getting rapidly aged.
Ooh, who's this chick? She's cute. Might type right there. Alright.
Aging Ehag Menly Mac as a guest on my show.
Neon suspenders for $10 says, Kirsch, time to enlighten them on sounding. Munya, munya.
Oh yeah, I'm an uptight
What the fuck is this podcast?
Christian, the virtue signals every chance I get, but I'm happy to talk about sounding with a hypersexual VTuber, as long as it keeps the
sounding is when you put a
What
rod
the
into your
fuck?
penis hole. Just so you guys are educated on that.
views up.
That's not
so
true,
yeah,
is it?
please keep coming back on Kirsch.
Those are how long your nails are? No
Yeah,
way.
those are my most recent picture, but yeah, that's
How do you
about how
wipe
long
your
my nails
ass?
are. What do you mean? How do I wipe my ass? With my fingers?
With your fingers.
With her
Of course,
fingers?
I wipe my ass standing up. Like
I don't
every
think she
real
meant it
man
that way.
should.
I think she meant like she
Am I
uses
right,
her
guys?
hand to like get a
Imagine
paper
the
towel,
smell
or
of
not
this
paper towel, but
dirty, wretched woman's
toilet paper.
office.
Anything when
But-
your fingers or nails are in so long.
God, shut up!
Someone did make this video of scrolling all of this harasser's tweets just to give a sense of.
I'm gonna be honest, I have
how
no idea
many
what's going on with all
posts
this like VTube
about
shit
me there
going on right
were,
now.
and these are only the ones that.
Wasn't this the strategy? Is to say like dumb shit on the internet for attention?
I
for a lot
guess
of
so,
people?
because I have no idea what these
Isn't
people are
that the
talking about.
whole? Isn't that like the whole point? Isn't that her whole content strategy? Or for all we know, his.
This
It might
purple's
be a
kind of
dude
cool.
with some kind of voice changer. You really don't know anymore. Kirschdroy might be just be like a dude. I don't know. Maybe they're not. You know, all we've seen are fingernails. Of that doesn't mean anything. I know gay people, and some of them like fingernails. So
mention my
they
name.
like to strip them off of somebody's body and then wear them as a necklace. So that's fucking crazy, right?
What?
There were plenty
What?
that didn't have my name.
Hey,
but
you
were
know, the
about
yellow's
me.
not bad,
If
honestly.
anything, dragon fat deposit, does that not normal person? Don't have
Green's
anything to say
kinda cool.
nowadays?
Looking,
I'm joking, I didn't read this document. Someone in
school.
Short Fat Otaku's Discord's a freak.
wizard kinda
Big
way.
surprise. Seriously, this area
Stark
of the
Red's not
internet is
bad.
rotten. And Craig's got this other leaflet friend now.
Love your model, by the way.
Why? Why do you love it? It's weird. Unless they're an actual child, it's weird.
Their
I mean, even if
content
they
is
are an
Kirsch
actual child,
clone,
right?
but their role-playing's a child, and Craig's a huge fan.
Gotcha.
Seriously, you've got to stop watching these VTubers. So now I'll give Craig one bit of praise. He has at least
Gray's
managed to
cool.
stick his
Maybe it
flag
matches her
into
skin too
one
much, though.
take that he'll commit to, and that is he really doesn't like the trans. But
Oh, okay. Okay, that's
the
something.
commentary, it still is lacking. He just doesn't have a lot to say about it. Here you've got an all-trans competitive esports team competing in a women's league.
I
This
like
would be
the white,
prime comedy
honestly, or
for
like this really
Mecha
light
80 years
gray
ago.
color.
And now it's Craig's turn to relive some of that glory. So much potential outrage, so many potential zingers. And we've got Eric here as well. God, I just love Eric. So we're ready for some great commentary here. Take it away.
Kind of like this
Eric, you're a
orange on
dad.
blue thing going
Does
on.
that really matter though? Like, is there a difference between male and female esports? Because I totally understand like physical.
Ooh, this
sport.
is a good
That
color
makes perfect sense.
combination.
But like esports
Goes
too,
well with their skin too, because it matches the accent.
you know,
tone
is there
color.
like is there a reason to separate
Kinda digging
categories?
this.
I mean, maybe there's something biological that makes you better at video games. You know, do men have better reaction time, or because they're men, or is it just because like
Yeah, I
dudes
like
usually
the
grow up
red.
playing games because games typically are made for guys, or they think those types of gamers are cooler? I don't know. Maybe there is
Dark
like a
gray is
legitimate
kinda
difference,
cool.
but I don't know. It seems a little strange to me.
But I think the
When you see
white
this type of thing,
just makes so
It's a
much
long neck.
sense.
I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on all this nonsense?
Yeah.
This dark blue's pretty too.
There is there an actual? Maybe we'll take a look at that. Okay. Finger speed. You'd think that that like women would have that. No, I guess guys. Well, lesbians would do really well with that. No.
I just hope my daughters never have to play against one of them.
You hope your daughters will never have to play against in a video game against a, what? Like I understand like boxing or something. But what?
In sports.
I agree.
Dude, this
Truly
anti-woke
top-tier
stuff, it's
there,
like,
and
Yeah, that's a really nice.
even outside of it just
you
being
know,
kind of like
normal men love talking about what woman
lame,
is
like
gonna be
kind of like
cast
move
as
on
Zelda
with
in
society
Bro,
already. Like,
what the hell's her name?
hang them over this stuff
She
is
would
weird.
be really good. What the
But
fuck is
also,
taking
like, the
4 years?
content is just extremely boring. Right? Just like, oh, we don't like trans people. We don't want trans people around our kids. Wow. You know, how original. How many different ways can you say that before it winds up, you know, just being super, super redundant? digging that blue a lot. I really do. I wish the accent color was a little bit different though. Oh, I can't change this accent color on the inside. This white and pink is pretty cool. Red on blue. And of course I don't have access to a guild bank right here. Off to the stronghold. Or maybe not, maybe we should leave the planet first.
Trans person's name. They look like they'd make the perfect
I have heard about this, so like this trans actress who people are talking about playing Zelda. Say what you want about trans people, right? People complain about like trans actors and everything. The whole point is supposed to be like, oh yeah, you know, if they're fit for the role and everything. Tell me she doesn't look like she's like born to play Zelda. What is her name? Hunter Schafer or something? Like look at this. Like yes, she's trans. Okay, we get it. But like she looks like okay, I know this version of Zelda, but look at Zelda from was it Twilight Princess? Yeah, like are you kidding me? Like she looks exactly like Zelda from this game. Like are these just her ears? Her ears naturally look like elf ears. She's got like the pointy eyebrow thing going on. Like an elf character. She looks straight up like freaking Zelda. It's crazy. Zelda art. I'm like, okay, so this is Skyward Sword, this is fan art. You know, granted, it depends on which version of Zelda you're talking about, because some of them look more cartoonish, but like the ones that look a little bit more realistic, the depictions of Zelda, they typically look exactly like this girl. So like, look at this. She looks exactly like her. It's insane. Right? And if anything, this is like, okay, this is the one time at the very least you should have the trans actress because she fucking looks exactly like her. It's crazy. Hunter Schafer. Like especially in whatever this, you know, style that she's rocking over here looks exactly like look at this. She looks like an elf person. Like it's fucking insane how exactly she looks like her. Zelda from Melee. Like look at this shit. It's insane. It's insane how spot on like the likeness is, you know? Let her play. Fuck them, okay? No one's even gonna know the difference.
New live action adaptation.
Until you tell them.
And they definitely have been watching too much Kirsch at this point because they're really into the actress being young.
Well, at least she's in the age bracket. She's not a 30-year-old man.
Okay.
So.
Oh wow, such interesting content.
Okay, so let's throw out. I asked Rock to
It's
give
so
me some
boring. It's so old
actors
after a
between the
while.
ages of 16 and
I get it. You
20,
don't like trans people.
right?
Okay, cool.
Rock,
Congratulations.
find me a nice 16-year-old I can pull up on screen. Okay. And this, I'm dead.
Why are people so against her being Zelda? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Because she's trans.
Hunter Schafer. Yeah, I think Hunter Schafer. Well, Hunter Schafer is a good actress, and she.
I've never seen her in anything, but she does literally look exactly like Zelda, though.
Makes sense to me, and then make Link a femboy, because that makes sense to me.
Not a problem with Craig, right?
Honestly, yeah, it does.
Out.
Who would
This
you
is a
cast
problem
for Link, though? I'm kind of curious what the... Who's that character who plays, Fuck. Is it... Yeah, it's this kid, right? This kid... I mean, it's kind of sad to say, but he looks like... He looks like he's born to play Zelda, because he just perpetually looks like a young child or whatever. What's this guy's name? Not this kid. Where's he at? Where'd he go? And like, no offense to this actor or everything, but like in every other role that he's gonna play, he's gonna look kind of like kind of pathetic. No offense to him. Zelda or Link is the one role he could play where he matches the look completely, where he'll actually be kind of a badass, you know. Like we can roll with it. What is this actor's name? I mean, who is this kid? I could see this kid playing Link too. Like, look at this. He looks like Link right here. The only issue is if you do pick Hunter Schafer, like these guys look a little young for her. Like the ages of Zelda and Link in there would look kind of like more your teenage look. And he looks his facial structure, he looks more like the childish, cartoonish Link. He looks more like the teenage kind of Link or Zelda that you see in the Twilight Princess movies. Wow, that would have been perfect. Young Leo would have actually been perfect for that role. Because he would have looked like this. He would have been able to look like a young teenager that actually has like the facial structure and everything. I can almost see Tom, whatever the hell this Tom Holland. I could see it. The only issue is I feel like every role that I see Tom Holland play, like it just feel like he plays like the same, like oh Mr. Stark, like oh no, like he's slightly unsure of himself kind of thing. I don't really want that for Link. See, he has a look, but he would look like the way too young version. Like the Link that you see in like the cartoon Link. Like this Link. Not like the Twilight Princess Link. And I think in order for a Zelda movie to work in live action, you want to go with like the depiction of him that looks a little bit more real. And so obviously the cartoon versions don't look right, but like the Twilight Princess version, or maybe like the Ocarina of Time versions of the characters. Like yes, it looks cartoony, but he looks a little bit more like grown up with like actual human proportions. Same thing with Zelda. Who is this freaking actor, dude? Why can't I get his name on here? I guess I have to go to the freaking article. Oh, great. It's one of these. Thomas Brody Sangster. He's in the Queen's Gambit? I need to watch that, by the way. He was in Game of Thrones, right? Yeah, see, that's the thing. I mean, he's gonna look like young Link, but he's not gonna look like teenage Link very much. At least not when he's standing side by side with the Zelda actress. I mean, right here he looks a little bit older. Maybe it's a matter of like hairstyle and how you do his makeup and stuff. Like, okay, maybe we could probably work with this. Maybe. Yeah, you know, I could see it. It might really just come down to how they like this kind of hairstyle right here looks good. Yeah. Yeah, I could see it maybe. He might look like a little bit too baby faced compared to the Zelda actress. Yeah, he probably would. I was kind of thinking to myself, like, what is it about him that makes him look like a child still and have a baby face? That's probably the proportion of his eyes compared to the rest of his face. See, I'm trying to see if there's like anything where he looks like more like an adult, but it feels like you really have to just kind of catch him at the right angle, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it'd work to have him side by side with Hunter Schafer. You need someone who looks just a little bit older. You can kind of make this work actually. I can see this. I just feel like I need a different acting style of Tom Holland, and I've never seen him in like a more serious kind of capacity. He's always just kind of like a lovable, like young nephew kind of thing. Some of these other people that they got posted up just do not. I don't know who this is. I could see this working if you had blonde hair, but I have no idea who that is. I don't know who this is. Is this that same kid? Yeah, he looks a little too young. Again, side by side with Hunter Schafer. You need someone who looks a little bit older. Why? I mean, why do they pick this for? I mean, I don't mean it to sound like that. You know what I mean? But like the whole like, oh, let's do a race swap thing. Like, I don't think it's always a bad thing. But like, if you're gonna make the one live action Legend of Zelda movie that fans have been waiting for a long time, just pick someone who looks like the character. Don't do like a whole like, oh, we're gonna do like an alternative version. I hate when they do that. You know? Like, honestly, I don't know if I care so much if it's like Superman or Batman because there's a Superman and Batman movie out every like 5 years. You know, if we do like a different adaptation one time, who cares? But we've never had like a real high production live action Zelda, thing. So you want it to stand up. You want it to hit like the familiar beats. You want it to be the iconic look and feel. Definitely not this guy, I don't think. I've seen his acting in Power the Dog, I think. Was that the same actor? Um, that's interesting because he actually does look like a preteen Link, if that makes sense. Like he looks like Link from Breath of the Wild, but outside of that, probably not. Oh, this is that same person. Not a different person. Definitely not this guy. No, like what? What? I think the problem with this guy is he's too tall and older looking. It wouldn't really match. You know, I can see how there's like some facial structure similarity with like an older looking Link, but his hair color doesn't really match. He'd be way too big and too grown looking for the role. His hair color's not right. Like, do we have example of him being blonde? Yeah, he just looks too old. Like, I don't know if I like a hairstyle like this, maybe. He looks too old. He looks like maybe what, with blonde hair and everything, he looks like what Link might look like when he's like actually an adult. But, we want Link kind of in that teenage range. Because Link is never depicted as an adult. Even like the older versions of Link. These aren't real, by the way, but like the older depictions of Link are like him in his like teenage years. Like maybe he's 15 or 16 here. Maybe he's 17. Maybe. But definitely not like an adult Link. It doesn't really work. He looks too young. Like, why, bro? I don't know who this kid is. We have him being blonde. And then also they don't have blue eyes. I feel like you gotta do it. Nah, I'm not really seeing it so much. Nah. No. 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 Sorry, no. We already went over this. Who's this? Is this a fucking NBA player? Who puts these lists together? This is fucking garbage. Alright, I've seen enough. Out of here.
Grok. He asks for 16 to 20-year-olds that could play Zelda, and the actress is of age, but all the pictures that come up are all from sites which have a blank word tribute and these sorts of things. It's
like a cum tribute. That's crazy.
so weird. Oh look, Sam and Chad are hanging out with the Hang Time guys, just playing some games. Kind of like what normal men would do.
That
Oh, and the better part
I was gonna agree, and then I saw big boobs in the screen. That's crazy.
is, I bet you those boobies are actually like squishy, because some anime figurines, their boobs are actually like made out of like a squishy material. You can go toot toot.
Wow.
Even I didn't know that, and I'm a fucking weird degenerate. What the fuck?
Imagine that girl, like, do you
telling-
think she's proud of herself? Do you think she feels happy with, like, the little community of, like, loser men who just jerk off to little action figures all day? Like, do you think she thinks to herself, like, this is not where I thought my YouTube career would go? I have to wonder that.
Truth. Oh yes, well-known truth teller Tectone, come down. Ah! But the true problem with the Side Scrollers podcast.
She walks so weird. It's like. There's a Lego Star Wars set of this at one point. It actually looked really good. I wish I would have gotten it back in the day. It was a good looking design. I think they did a really good job here. It evokes so many like callbacks to like the Tantive 4 or the Republic Cruiser. It even kind of has elements of like the Millennium Falcon to it. Proportions look good. The use of different shapes together looks really good. Alright, get me off of this planet.
Cast.
I don't know.
Don't
what it is, but I
lie,
really
that
do
was
not like
good, huh?
Tectone. I just feel like of all the people.
Okay, is this robot gonna give me the tour? Yes, I know. Yes, I know. I've been on this ship before. All right. Finally, let's go to the stronghold. Get one of these
I see, 'cause
dye
obviously I disagree,
modules
like,
for my
below
character.
has the gold and stuff. Tectone is the
And then
one
we're
that
calling
I
it
think
a
is
night.
the most performative fuck ever. Like, he is such a super
Who is this
performative
Tectone
fucking
person?
coward. I don't know what it is, but he just reads as somebody who doesn't believe anything that he's
I
saying.
hear these YouTubers' names sometimes. I have no idea
He's
who
just,
they are.
I think he's constantly baiting for attention, and then he cries when he gets it,
Who
right?
is
Like, he started
this?
going after Hassan, which I don't like Hassan. But then he got attention
I guess
from
these
Hassan.
are all
Hassan
like
started talking
Twitch
shit about his
people.
dad
I guess I'm
being,
glad
like,
I'm
a
not on
fucking,
Twitch for
like,
this reason.
sexual deviant, like, it was like groping women in the military. And then he gets like offended and he starts crying, and like, it's just like, what the fuck? Like, you decide to get into like the toxic Twitter fucking argument space, and then you're gonna cry when it gets toxic. I don't know, man. He just seems like a fucking writer. He seems like a fucking dick writer. I don't know. Maybe I don't know enough of his stuff, but he gives me that energy. So
Is they lack any analysis with what they talk about. Like, they cover this new way that Sony's moderating their games, and they just don't know anything about it. They have this
no
article.
dick.
It's pretty bare bones,
This
and
one
they
looks
don't
good
even read the
for
entire
now.
thing.
Yes, so exactly. What exactly does this mean? Comparing the or each metric with an average or reference metric for a typical individual, as described elsewhere herein. So, anyways, yes. So all this we've seen Activision go in and
He's just like, social credit score.
But this very much sounds like a social credit score.
Dystopian future.
And not a huge fan of this kind of dystopian.
what the fuck?
I
just
think I'm gonna
kinda
go
breeze
grab that
through the
that
article
blue
here.
one.
Looks
Maybe.
like Sony is trying to combat toxic players in multiplayer games with the new bad actor detection system panel. Submitted October 2024, the recently published patent aims to punish bad actors who act out against their teammates over an extended period of time that goes against the norm and typical behavior. Curiously, in the description of the background of the panel of the patent, Sony outlines the use of anti-spam methods in emails to prevent targeting vulnerable users, but the same is not applicable to video games, and it's not done in the same methodology. So Sony's patent aims to target, mitigate, and alleviate the issue in multiplayer situations. With this tech, Sony will be able to track users' behavior across different games and score that, comparing it against the rest of the
Honestly, I mean, I think that's fine. I think if you're, there has to be like a certain threshold, right? But if you're the kind of person you're like from game to game and you're making it a bad experience for everybody, then like fuck off. All right, no one owes you anything. If you can't get along with other people, if you can't owe it to other people to like treat them right, treat them fair, then other people don't owe it to you. They don't. All right, you're gonna get fucked. All right. Oh, you can't ban me. Yes, we can. Okay, fuck off. You want to play with the other kids, you gotta like respect the other kids. That's how it works. Not too much to ask. I think it was like this dark blue. I like this. The white looks good too. Obviously it makes her look very pure. I don't mean that in that way, I just mean like as a Jedi, you know? Jedi are supposed to look like holy and kind of impressive in that regard. Ooh. Okay, yeah, I think that blue looks good. Where is it at? Bye-bye. There we go. Oh my god, did I not buy it? Hmm. What happened? See, these might have worked if they were a different color. They don't. That color doesn't really blend in. That I think is doing a little too much. Just keep it that one solid color. Might switch out the pants eventually if we find something better. The red actually matches colors in here, but I think it's too much. I think we like leaving the gloves the original color. Okay. This blue is a nice contrast from her skin. I wonder, can I apply this just to certain clothing? I think I can, right? Yes, I can. Okay, we don't want to do that. Let's do this. Black. Black might work. So I think it's too dark for this outfit though. Oh, I see. It's not dyeing your pants because the pants aren't. Hmm. The white is perhaps too white. It might just look like her skin. The gray and gray is okay. We got the orange, secondary pale brown. We'll use the secondary pale brown, I think. I think that should do the trick. Is that a motorcycle? Wait. Well, I want to be blowing through these dye modules. Okay, maybe. Yeah, the current color looks like too much. We need something that would like match. Yeah, it looks like too much. Okay. Oh my god, these robots are annoying the fuck out of me and listening to them. Let's see if we have any pants in here that would match. Those are okay. Um, oh, not sure how I feel about that stripe down the side. Blue's terrible there. That's not bad. Wouldn't be too bad.
Competitive base level, able to punish them for this, but the ability to learn and improve on it without. Okay.
Cast is they lack any analysis with what they talk about. Like they cover this new way that Sony's moderating their games, and they just don't know anything about it. They have this
I mean, it makes sense fundamentally. I imagine they're tracking the way that they play and the way that maybe even they talk to their teammates to get rid of toxicity. I guess the only thing I would be apprehensive about is two things, actually. One is potentially players that just suck and they're not trying to sabotage getting punished. And number two is the reduction in the ability to have alternative play styles, especially in more complex games like League of Legends, right? Like you see somebody like Boss, who
Do that for now.
he feeds like all game, but then he ends up like winning the game because he's very objective driven.
Okay.
And even he's been like manually
All right, well,
punished
that's it for now.
before it gets taken back. But
We'll
he's a
catch you guys
phenomenal
later.
player. And so I wonder if this would, like, okay, your team doesn't like a strat you're using, but like, what if you have a solid win rate? Like I remember seeing there was like a singed support in